calm and sure grittiness.
It starts with an attitude. We need swagger, okay? Regardless of what happens out there. Doesn't matter. Keep your swagger.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 5-Hole Fantasy Hockey Podcast. We're your hosts today, TJ and Alan. What's going on, bud?
Not much. I'm doing a lot better in that Rangers locker room right now, man. That's probably got to be for sure.
It was something I wrote about for the Eastern Edge for Dauber, but I think after Game 5, that was like if you were to go back week by week by week and just check the Rangers' points percentage, you would have to go back to game number 5 of the season for them to have been over 500. They have had a losing record since I think it was October 19th. I think I want to say the date was. It is. I mean, it's no surprise they traded Trouba. They had to shake it up. But,
I mean, the question is, do they shake it more?
I know. Yeah. So I guess there's been rumors about Kreider to Vancouver. He shot that down. But again, nothing more than rumors. But anyway, let me do the plugs before we get into it.
Yeah.
You guys can find us on Twitter at FHF Hockey. We're in the Fantasy Hockey Discord. What's going on in the chat? We are live on YouTube. I'm sitting in for the weekend preview. It's been a crazy couple weeks for me, just based on personal schedule and just being busy. For those of you watching on YouTube, you'll notice I'm in a different spot in the basement. Had to rearrange this whole bastard. We got a dumpster out in the front. It's taking up all my goddamn time. But thank you to everybody. Thank you to the 5-Hole team for stepping in on the week preview and just anything else. But yeah, it's been a crazy week. We're getting into the weekend preview. We're going to hit some of your mailbag questions as well. Paratoran, I see you in the chat, and Armin, you guys are both featured either via Twitter or via Discord for the mailbag questions. But let's get into the the meat of this one here. If you want to take us into first thing up on the docket there, Al.
So yeah, headlines. Well, before tonight anyway, the Rangers were 2-8 in their last 10. And we were joking. Do we think that Trouba trade kind of puts the fear of God in everyone there, or do we think that there's still more moves on the table that they could make? I mean, Kreider was the other rumored player. Like, do they, they got they freed up some salary cap with Trouba gone now. Do they go out and make a big splash?
I do start to wonder, and I was starting to look at Keandre Miller because those bangs and those minutes need to get filled by somebody. He got hurt tonight, so
yes.
that's a big bummer. Because I noticed since the it was only a small sample size, but since the Trouba trade, he's been getting like 2 or 3 or 4 more minutes every single night. So that injury is going to be a big one. I like Keandre, not so much for the offense, but he bangs a whole hell of a lot. And I think they brought back Urho Vakanainen, something. And I don't know if he's going to be seeing a bunch of minutes, but I do think that this is going to be the beginning of a shakeup. There's something I brought up, I think in the offseason, but that Laviolette first season, that's the best season that you're ever going to have. And then it's just downhill from there. We saw it with the Predators. We saw it with Philly. Everywhere he goes, that first year is insane. And then, I don't know what happens with these teams with Laviolette, but super weird. I guess we'll let those trades happen as they happen. But yeah, let's crush into the injuries. I talked about Keandre Miller a little bit. A couple guys coming back or questionable comeback. We were talking about Talbot before we went on air, and just how good he's been for Detroit. But he might be an option for Thursday's matchup. I think it was on r/hockey on Reddit. This
the chart.
The infographic, yeah.
No, I actually have that pulled up right here.
What is it, Money Puck? Who's doing this?
Yeah, Money Puck. It's the top and bottom 10 goalies sorted by goals saved above average, or goals saved above expected per 60. Cam Talbot, surprisingly, number 4.
Yeah, he's been looking really good. There's Vejmelka. And man, Ingram just keeps getting those starts, and Vimelka just can't put together a winning record. Or I don't know what it is. Got Gibson, Dostal, they're doing great.
Surprisingly,
No surprise.
Soderblom, which with Mrazek out, hey,
there you go, money up. A bunch of really interesting names to be had here. Man, I would UC Soros looking good. Is that just how bad Nashville has been?
Yes. I couldn't find it before we talked about it last week. Yeah, because someone had a question about Soros, and it had to have been a Twitter post that is just the amount of puck that Soros sees and how much he's saving.
Yeah,
what other goalies would or could is just unreal, and it's just the team in front of him sucks that bad.
I was talking to Kevin Woodley like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, just throwing things around. I'm trying to work on something for the site that's like, trying to piece together sustainability for goalies. And I was asking him his ideas, like what metrics he leans on. And we got to talking about, private and public data. And he was, where is it? I love the idea, blah, blah, blah. Had a radio host cite natural stat trick and Soros being terrible, but his proprietary data has him in 8th place in the NHL in adjusted save percentage because the Preds are so bad on D. So I don't know. With goalies, so much is team oriented and like you kind of live or die by your team. And Nashville's garbage, and Yossi's out now.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully not long.
Not
I don't think Brady Shea is who you want as your top backstop there.
Yeah, tough shit. A little bit more here. Ovi still on track. 2 to 3 weeks is left in his recovery timeline, but he's been skating and doing a little bit of practice after the team, or maybe before the team. But
was taking shots with his old pal Backstrom today.
Wow, they still got backs around the ice.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to suit up, but he was just there for that day's practice.
It reminds me, Shattenkirk retired or announced his retirement. So congrats on a career, man. How about it? Some returns here. Demko did make his first start versus St. Louis last night. Sub 900 save percentage there, 840. And it's been a long time since he's played any hockey. So I know folks that have been holding on to Demko, whether in their IR or just on their watch list or on their. Did my mic just cut out?
No, you're good.
There it is. All right. Or just on their bench, were like dying. But that first start, that's a tough look. I don't know. What's your take on here? How much time are we giving him to kind of?
I don't know. I've been preaching. I think he is a prime Demko is a prime candidate for load management. I mean, if 840 is all he can give, I know I just looked it up today. League average save percentage is 900. I mean, if he can't even give them average, I say maybe we see some kind of split as long as Lankinen can give us something better. But I mean, Paratarin just brought it up. I could see, once JT Miller comes back, that's really going to give him a shot in the arm down the middle, and that'll help the team overall, which, as we just said, goalies are really kind of team bound.
Yeah, something's up in Vancouver. Miller is skating again, so hopefully he's coming back soon. With Demko, I'm right there with you. I feel like this is almost going to be like a Rupe Hintz from a couple years ago, and I've used exactly this allegory a bunch of times. Like it's going to be day to day, every single day until game time, and that's a nightmare for just managing a fantasy roster and managing goalies in particular. Is this an injury we've never really encountered before in hockey? He's had a lot of time off. So it's going to be a day by day thing. You just find out, oh, he's no good for tonight. I don't know.
Yeah. And I'd say watch for the call-ups of Shilovs.
Yeah. That'll be a big tell. Leo Carlson, Pavel Minchikov set to return tonight versus Ottawa. Both are pretty lowly owned. I'm enjoying Zellweger right now, so I'm hoping Minty doesn't dig too deep into my shares there. What are you thinking? Should we move into the mailbag or the weekend preview?
We always do mailbag first.
All right, I'll let you take the lead. I'll start following.
Yeah. So first off, we have a Swiss cheese in the Discord. Where are we at with Zibanejad with centers so deep? Would you replace him with Norris and McMichael? Holding's been frustrating, and this is a 12-team head-to-head Cats with goals, assists, plus minus, power play, pim shots, hits, and blocks. I don't know if I would say McMichael, maybe not an upgrade. I don't know if Norris is much of an upgrade. I don't know if either one of those is really an upgrade over Zibanejad.
If we're talking ceilings, like the upgrade isn't there, but if we're talking like current production, I think either of those, or even start using it as a
Shopping
stream
him.
spot, shop him. Yeah. If anybody is like keen to, quote unquote, buy low on a Zibanejad, any value you could get, like, you're almost at a point where, you're considering dropping him already. So if you can upgrade via somebody else's roster versus the waiver wire, absolutely do that. I love Norris. I love McMichael as well. Surprised they're still on the waiver wire out there. But if you're looking at those kinds of guys,
Right, especially in 12 team.
yeah, you're kind of like, I don't know, you're holding on to an anchor. The saying goes, let go or get dragged, and right now you're getting dragged. I can't tell you what the rest of the season is going to look like. Nobody can. And if anybody tells you, no, you got to hold on to Zibanejad or whatever, I don't know. Just give me the guys who are producing right now, which should be Norris, which would be McMichael. Hits and blocks. I kind of like Norris in this format here for that.
Yeah, I'd almost say even another trade could happen on the Rangers, and he gets a better winger than Riley Smith.
Yeah, it seems like every time they're trying to like pad the lines, they're taking from Zibanejad's line to pad other lines. They're not doing much in the way of like insulating Zibanejad. But he's been a player that's like been able to do it by himself for so long. Yeah, I think my final answer here is go for Norris.
Yeah, if you're going to drop, of the two, if you're going to drop him for one, I agree, Norris. Next, Armin Safari, who is also in the chat. Add one. He's looking at goalies here. Categories: wins, save percentage, shutouts. We got Gibson, Jari, Korpsalo, Riddick, Talbot, Vladar, Samsonov. He's leading Gibson with his only other goalie being Skinner. And shocker that, Gibson was one of the, you got it, was one of the top goalies there as far as goal saved above expected. And honestly, this is another one. If it wasn't Blackwood, I was thinking about how to fit Gibson in my roster speculatively. I think Colorado isn't the only team out there that's been kind of nudged that they might need some goalie help. And he's been trade rumored for years. So if he doesn't go anywhere, he's still a solid individual goalie. But yeah, I would say Gibson or maybe Vladar.
Yeah, I like Gibson there too. He'd be my guy. Everybody like Jari has just been such a, I want to say up and down, but it's just been so much more down than it has been up. There's like a couple of good games that are almost catfishing you into thinking, oh, he's going to turn it around. I love Talbot here too. I'm a Talbot owner. My one in the listener league, the 5-hole league, my tandem is Bobrovsky and Talbot. So Talbot's been great. So for me, it's between Gibson and Talbot. Both probably getting like the same amount of volume. So that's what I'd be going for. Wins, save percentage, shootouts or shutouts. You might get better qualitative stats out of Talbot, but I think the quantity is going to be there out of Gibson.
Yeah.
Actually, there's no saves, so I probably have Talbot ahead of Gibson, to be honest. Yeah, that's where I land.
Cool.
Everybody
All right,
else,
and then
everybody else kick rocks. Yeah.
Hard Days. I think he just listed all the available like starting guys, but Hard Days Night on Discord, Cats League. He recently traded for JT Miller. Someone just offered him Forsberg. I'm assuming Philip Forsberg for Miller. It hits blocks, points, game-winning goals, special team points, and plus minus. I say no.
Yeah, no.
Like, especially in a category with your categories, give me JT Miller all day long.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like when he comes back, I get this huge, chip off the shoulder kind of vibe from JT Miller. I assume he's not coming back until he's like 100% ready to come back. And when he's ready, we know what JT Miller can do. And I'm hoping that he'll start to reward us with that level of production. And the ceiling on him, like he's in certain Cats leagues back when we were a couple years ago. Like JT Miller's top 5 player, and yeah, what do we got? Hits, blocks, points, game-winning goals, special team points. Yeah, give me Miller all day.
Cool.
Gotta
And then
say.
A Ronk on Discord. What to do with Brant Clark? Time on ice dropping as well as points. Oh, are we taking Ian's question first, or?
Oh no, I saw we had a Clark one. I'm trying to find the Clark. Isn't there a Clark question in the chat? Oh, would you
He was on
drop Clark?
Discord.
Yeah. So would you drop Clark or Spurgeon to add Hudson? So I figured we could like
Yeah.
tie Ian in here too.
So I was trying to find a date, but it looks like Doughty is about a month away.
Mm.
So if anything, I just don't see Clark being that useful coming up here.
Yeah. So speaking of Aaron, I think you sell now, while there's still some sort of hope in the tank, before Doughty comes back, because we've seen LA try a 5-forward power play. We've seen them kind of just floundering about their power play. So it gets to a point where you don't think Brant Clark is going to keep it after Doughty comes back. So I think Clark, you have to sell him now. And Paraton here in the chat, huge LA Kings fan. So he's got the inside scoop on it. He's allocating his time to Spence and Gavrikov, he says. I think you got to sell Clark now before, like, you got 4 weeks before, 4 weeks ish before Doughty comes back. Try not to let it sting too much when he's producing over those next 4 weeks, but no, for the long term, it's the right move.
But to answer Ian's question, I'd personally Hudson. I don't trust Spurgeon to keep power play 1 / stay healthy.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big one. So anybody out there, Ian asks, Hudson just got dropped in my league. Would you drop Clark or Spurgeon to add Hudson? So are you saying,
drop
pitch Spurgeon, add Hudson?
I would say drop Clark to add Hudson. I mean, Spurgeon is good while he's getting that deployment, but again, who knows how long you keep it? And then, you just opened up a streamer spot.
And Jiricek, has he played for the Wild?
No,
yet?
they just sent him down, which was someone asked us about that Monday night. I don't think there's anything really to make a big deal of there. I mean, he's not crack the roster in Columbus. It was probably just. It sounds like he spent some time around the team, kind of
got his feet
high,
wet.
break the ice, and then get him some time in the minors. Probably get him used to their system before they call him up and try to use him.
Yeah, he's not built like a power play defenseman either, so I wouldn't expect him to come in and steal a power play 1 or anything. This is not to say that they're not going to try him out, just like see what he's got, give him the juice, and see if it's there. But I don't think he's built like that. Faber, I'd imagine he winds up taking it back. I don't know what he's got going on, but yeah.
I'm saying I've seen him dropped and reports of him dropped, and people are like, "Oh, do I pick him up?"
Who's that? Fabes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's still super highly owned.
I believe it.
Getting no power play, at least last time I checked. But Parataran gave us a laundry list.
We're getting into his fucking doctorate thesis here.
10 points, keeper league, goals, assists, power play points, shorthanded points, shots, hits, blocks.
Hold on. So Parataran's in the chat. Are you still holding on to Quentin Byfield? Because if he is, I mean, we can't give him advice anymore if he's not listening to the advice. He's gonna lie. He's gonna lie in the chat. Anyway, so sorry to cut you off there, Alan.
No, you good. He's asking what to do about Middlestat. He line 2, which that's where he's always been. He is no longer on power play 1, so he says he might drop and keep Monahan. Hells yes, I would.
Yeah,
like if Middlestat's not even getting that power play 1 anymore.
Yeah, this is what we feared, PT, about a month ago when we were talking about people coming back. Middlestat will probably get the shaft, and he's gotten it pretty hard. I wonder if, like, how they say sometimes goalies are like rhythm goalies, like they like to see a lot of shots. They stay busy. I feel like that happens with skaters too, but to an extent where they're used to getting utilized a lot. They're used to being in like high impact situations, and he's lost power play 1. And, he's just kind of playing a different game. Also, keep in mind that his line mates are brand the fuck new. to a point where these guys are coming right back. So there could be some chemistry that needs to be built there. But if he's not doing anything for you right now, Monahan still is. And I mean, there's guys out there on just because they're center only who have been getting kind of shafted. Like Norris is a guy we talked about this episode, and we've talked about a lot. Who's kind of hard to roster just because he is center only. So yeah, I think Middlestat can go. In terms of what's going on with line 2, I don't know. As soon as I get this tool built, we can bring trends back.
Well, and like I've said a few times, like Nichushkin could not skate until last month, I think. So he got no training camp. Like this is his training camp. For as good as we know he is. His next item, Faber is still pretty much a waiver D man, held at almost 90%. What can we do with him? Since he's off power play, he can stay on waivers.
Yeah, no sense in like picking guys up for their ceiling that may or may not exist.
Yep. And this one I didn't really look into. Schedule wise, what teams do we see dragging teams to wins by sheer volume / skill? Which teams will we stay away from later in the season schedule wise? Do we know who has the better playoff schedules?
Oh, we're talking about playoff schedules.
Yeah, I know, right?
So this would be, I mean, it depends on your playoffs. Which teams do you foresee wins sheer volume?
I think he means like who are going to be like maybe play more serious hockey.
Yeah, I always like to get guys that are in the wild card hunt because those teams are playing with a little extra umph. So let's check it out here. I'm going to Dauber here. Actually, I'll put this up on the thing. Yeah. There we go. So this is where we'll go. Research, schedule, planner. I'll just put it for like custom date range. Let's say mid-January to, I don't know, what is it?
Mid-April.
18th, I think is the last day. So let's see. Jesus, calm down. All right, Rangers have a bunch of off nights. Vancouver has a bunch of off nights. I like the Rangers a lot, which is fucking weird because we were just talking about getting rid of Zibanejad. Guys like and this, I mean, this ties in the JT Miller trade too. They've got a ton of games mid-January to the end of the season. A lot of them are off nights.
And I do remember Maddie talking about Dallas having a good schedule down the stretch.
Yeah, they most certainly do.
And shit, like if they have Sagan on LTIR and his cap hit is available, oh god, they're a team that are absolutely going to make a splash.
Chris Kreider calling it now. Joe Pavelski 2.0.
Or it'll be like Dallas traded for Zuccarello and then he injured himself in that first game and was done.
So like a lot of these teams, the ones that we're talking about who are going to be making like pushes, I feel like Dallas is probably a lock. LA is going to be pushing. Vancouver is going to be pushing. The Rangers are going to be pushing. Detroit, Anaheim, New Jersey's. I feel like they're. Pushing.
Winnipeg looks human, so they could find themselves pushing.
But here, like 9 back-to-backs. That's a lot of action for Jonathan Quick if he got a deep enough bench. Not bad. And he's been solid, super solid. So he's a good one. Oh, God, my headphones battery is dying.
No.
Yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
So there we go. Right. Sounds like we have a list of teams there. And then next item is drop Toffoli / keep Palmieri when JT Miller comes back. I'm assuming that's one or the other.
Yeah, which one are you going to be dropping? I feel like, I don't know. I don't buy Palmieri. I don't buy the Islanders at all. So
right. I mean, well, that team does have room to get better once Barzal, Duclair come back. But I'm still not excited
about
their
offense. Those are two top-line guys that are going to start to backfill the mid-6, which is where you usually find Palmieri. So I wonder if that bolsters the line that he's already on or if it pushes him down a line. It's most certainly going to affect his power play deployment.
Okay, do one or the other. So drop Toffoli or keep Palmieri.
I'm keeping Toffoli.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah,
I like
I'd say.
this
I
top
mean,
line a lot.
Palmieri has more points on the season, but yeah, I'd say Toffoli is more believable.
So he's saying he just recently picked up Blackwood, and now the last question here is about Swayman, 15th round keeper. Is he worth trading? He's unreal bad, or stick it around. This is another one that I do have some stuff on. So I had just written about this in the Eastern Edge for Dauber, but I think I'm going off memory now, but what I wrote yesterday in the article is fact. But memory tells me I think Swayman, since Sacco was hired, Swayman's got like a 920. I want to say it's 918, and they're 7-2, Boston. So like this team is playing a lot better. And Pasternak, I think he's got 10 points in 9 games, so he's turned it around too under Sacco.
I mean,
Only
he's
one
playing
goal.
through injury apparently.
Who's that? Pasta.
Pasta.
Okay, that makes sense. I think Swayman's been all right over the last like 10 games or so. So like if you can get stellar value, I still feel like his name is kind of jaded right now and tarnished. The performance on the year hasn't been good, but if you can really play up, oh well, look at his stats under Sacco. Like he's a 9, I think it was like 918, I want to say.
Okay.
But just the last 9 games, Sacco got hired November 21st, I think. So use that as your selling point. Yeah.
And again,
Right.
I think you said he got no camp. Like that first part of the season has been
just
his
like
camp.
Nichushkin. We got a couple here in the chat that we can get to in comments here. I think Armin kicked it off with one. Would you drop Pietrangelo for Taze? I don't think so. Like Devontae's just got dropped today in the Content Creators League. So I don't know. I feel like confidence is really low. I don't have any shares in him, so I'm not like super in on him. Who dropped him? I forget. Anyway, I'm pretty sure he just got dropped. I don't know like how confident I am in Taze. And Pietrangelo just had that super hot start to the season. I guess he's tapered off. What are you thinking here?
See, because I think there was a third defenseman involved last week when Armin asked this. I kind of want to stick to Pietrangelo. I'd say probably a steadier source of everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taze is only on a 35-point pace. So, Pietrangelo. And and Pietrangelo's on a 49-point pace, so not a whole lot better, but still better. And you never know. Like I feel like Vegas, I joked about it last time too, that only one of those defensemen can be good at a time. I think the last week or so it's been Theodore. Pietrangelo's number could come up again, or it could be Hanifin next week. Who knows?
All right, we got another one here. Which team consistently splits power play time with both units? This is a tricky question, but I wanted to share something I've been working on with the God, where is it? Here we go. So this is just a beta site. You're not going to be able to see it, but on the shift charts that we've been doing on the site, and down here you got the shift chart, but what we're adding is power play. So you can see like the even strength line combination. So Stutzel, Giroux, Grigg, Batherson, Kachuk, Norris, yada, yada, yada. But then you can switch to the power play units. And you can see power play 1, 70%, power play 2, 30-ish. So this is something we are starting to work on. The Red Wings is just a nightmare. I don't know how to fix this, but we're working on it. And hopefully this is something that I can, basically this is a lot of words to tell you I don't know. I know Philly splits their units pretty evenly, but there's games where power play 1 plays a shit ton. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what kind of question you're looking for. Like
I know. I mean, like it sounds like the Pens are trying to now, but that's the Kings. I feel like the Kings kind of roll both units.
Yeah, that'll be one. As soon as I can get this working fully, I'm going to integrate it into the date range line combo feature on the site where we can like check power play units over, in a period of time, and we can see like the percentage split. So I don't know anywhere that it exists right now where you can see split from power play 1 to power play 2 over a date range. but I'd like to. Working on it. All right. Is that it for the questions here?
Amon had one more. Falk, OEL, Orlov, Burns, 12 team points. Is none of them an option?
I know Orlov, Carolina. I think they're maybe the only team with Friday, Sunday. So I guess I'd like to go Orlov on this one. I don't know how much I buy in.
At least for the weekend.
Yeah, just for the weekend. If we're talking long term, yeah, just keep shopping. That's all I say.
Yeah. You got a streamer spot.
Yeah, let's get into the weekend schedule. This isn't one of the better weekends. I think one team.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
No one's got Thursday, Friday, Sunday. The only team that has Friday, Sunday is Carolina, which I kind of pointed out Monday. And I just love who they play against. So it just seems like they're a good team to pick from. Drury left last night's game, so he is not an option anymore. It looks like in that last game, the Martinook Stahl Svetch combination was the most used line. But I kind of feel like this is almost like Seattle, where you just throw a dart, pick someone up, and there's a chance at some point they'll see some time with Jarvis or Natchez or Svetch, Aho, any of those guys.
It's such a dart throw, Carolina in general. So why not just throw a dart and see if Rod Brindamore in one of these two games mixes them up inside the top 6? So I don't know. our tried and true guys, Roslovic and
Roslovic. I'd say, I don't want to call him a sure thing, but he might be him and Martinook might be kind of the closest thing to sure things on that team.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot with Carolina if you're not talking about some of the biggest guys out there. So your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah. And then goalie streams, I guess if you need one of those, we talked about it Monday, Friday, Saturday, back-to-back. The only team that has that is Ottawa, and they play Carolina and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's the Saturday game, so you're trying to cram in a spot start on a day where only 2 teams don't play. I think that's a pass. I don't want to play their goalie against Carolina. Saturday, Sunday starts. Buffalo's got Washington and Toronto. I don't want that Toronto start. No. Chicago, New Jersey, and New York Islanders. Soderblom probably gets the Jersey start. I don't know if they're back. I couldn't tell you if their backups were starting against the Islanders.
I wouldn't.
But that's a winnable game, I think, for Chicago. Columbus, Anaheim, and Carolina. Anaheim would be the Saturday game. So no thank you against Carolina. Minnesota, Philly, Vegas. I'm good. I'm sure both their goalies are widely available, but
Is that Minnesota?
Vegas. Yeah.
No, Gus is super owned, but Fleury.
Or that's Fleury right. I was thinking Philly's goalies.
Oh, Fleury plays really well against Philly. I know that as having.
But that'd be the Saturday start. So again, we're
tough to get in.
Rangers. I think Jay and I said that Quick probably sees St. Louis. I mean, as far as difficulty or for the storyline, they could start him against LA and St. Louis, Dallas, and New York Rangers. I don't want either one of those. Even though St. Louis has been playing better with the new coach bump. Toronto, Detroit, Buffalo, you're not getting either of those goalies. Vegas, Edmonton, and Minnesota. I don't trust Samsonov.
No.
I was really hoping he'd do something in Vegas, but he is not.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I think Quick is probably the best option.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully. Hopefully the team in front of him actually does something.
Let's check out. You said there's nobody for Monday overlaps. Yep. And that is accurate. And then next week, let's talk about who's got the best schedules next week. Why did that get small? Oh, God.
I don't know. I didn't do it.
Oh, God. I got a code. All right.
See how Florida's got 4 games, 4 off nights.
Perfect one.
Yeah.
Washington right behind, and Colorado. Man.
So your Evan Rodriguez's.
What a time for Matthew Tkachuk to be going fucking off the rails. A great time.
And then Colorado, Washington, 4 games, 3 off nights. And then your worst schedules, the Islanders in Vegas, 2 games with no off nights.
Ugh. God, that's gross. Somehow San Jose and Nashville are still ranked worse because they are garbage. Look at San Jose's opponents. Holy fuck. Winnipeg, Colorado, Edmonton. Jesus. Well, welcome to San Jose,
yeah.
Georgiev. Have fun. Yeah, I hope they play him against Colorado. How fucking badass would that be? The poetry of it would be that he shuts out Colorado.
Yeah, Georgiev versus Blackwood.
Absolutely. All right. There were a couple other questions that trickled in. Parataron, he said, would you do if you should, when to do, whether or not can isn't? And I just,
yes.
With that, I want to know, who did he tell you that to? Where did you hear that from? So once you can answer that, let me know. Mr. Ho Travels, I need to trade Zibanejad and Forsberg. Who am I targeting in a banger league? Whew, that is a very open-ended question.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Especially Forsberg is injured right now. I don't know who you're going to get for someone who's injured.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm looking up the
right. I think Forsberg's injured.
Trade market right now from Yahoo. Philip Forsberg, I think he's healthy. So 7 total trades. The 1-for-1s have been Robert Thomas. He's not going to help you at all. Forsberg for JT Miller. That was something we talked about a little earlier.
Oh, he is healthy
in the episode. And Forsberg for Draisaitl. Holy fuck, who does that?
Taco leagues.
Yeah, somebody picked up Shesterkin for Forsberg. So I don't know, like, in a banger league, are you weak in a certain position? You're going to be giving up shots. You're going to be giving up a little bit of hits with Forsberg and some goals. So try to replace those and, I don't know, try to come up if you can. Let me see. So I want to find all players and just look at some hits and look at some good guys here. What do you think? Will Cooley?
Oh,
No.
Yeesh, that seems like
Vinny Tro looks pretty good in a banger league. Tom Wilson's been playing above his weight class. I don't know. This is too open-ended. I feel like Forsberg, he's got to be ranked really, really well. I feel like between Forsberg and Zibanejad, Forsberg's probably the one to trade just because you'll get better value, but I just don't see how you upgrade there.
No. Especially in the wing spot. I mean, Zibanejad is probably going to be a tough sell because he's center only and just not. That's when we could.
Last one here. Oh, I guess we got 2. Is Nietzsche's a hold? I think so. I mean, ride it while it's going on. I think selling high is just as good of an option, but worst that's going to happen is he cools off a little bit. So if you do sell high, like, make sure you're treading water. Try to stay at that 90-ish to 100-point pace. That'd be my only thing.
So what if you got someone like a Pasta,
Eichel, something in that range? Yeah. All right, last one here from Paratron before we call it. Out of Swayman, 15th round keeper, Dacord, Stolarz, and Blackwood, 20th round keepers. Who are you shopping first? I'm thinking Blackwood or Dacord. Blackwood easy right now. Like, hype is so huge. I feel like him. Stolarz, I'm with you. I'd want to keep him.
I've even thought about shopping Blackwood just on speculative value.
Yeah, the hype is always so huge. Same thing for prospects. Like, before they play their first game for their team, like, that is when the value is highest, especially when you're going to a team like this that needs a goalie, maybe top 50-ish% of starts the rest of the way. So I'd go for sell Blackwood and then Dacord. If you ride out with a Swayman, Stolarz, Dacord trio of goalies, that's fine to me. And same thing if you wind up selling Dacord. But I think Blackwood, you get the best value right now. Got to sell him before he plays. Before he throws a Demko out there and, you know, an 840 in his first start or something. What do you say? You got anything left for the people?
No.
All right, that'll let me get the outro music ready. That was a quick episode. Are you guys always? Is it always this quick?
No, there's just not that much to talk about for the weekend.
Yeah, this was a weird one and a bit of a crap weekend. Oh, we had fun. That's it. I'll be back for preview. We're gonna get that out Saturday night. You guys can join us there. I forget where I am Saturday night, but I gotta bring my microphone. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud now. My brain's not back in recording mode. But again, you can find us on Twitter at FHF Hockey, in the Fantasy Hockey Discord, and on the next episode. So thanks, guys, for listening. We love yous.
Night, everyone.